Welcome to our defense briefing show. First up, Ben Roberts-Smith, an Australian Special Forces veteran, is waiting anxiously for a court decision on his appeal against a huge defamation judgment. The case, which involved serious allegations of war crimes and domestic violence, lasted over 100 days and cost more than $25 million. His legal team claims there were errors in the trial, and even leaked conversations are being scrutinized, making this a case to watch. Moving over to the Taiwan Strait, experts suggest that China might prefer economic warfare or a blockade rather than an outright invasion. Cyberattacks targeting Taiwan's finance, energy, and telecom sectors could be on the table, aiming to pressure Taiwan without firing a shot. While the U.S. supports Taiwan's self-defense, increased Chinese military activity keeps everyone on edge, highlighting the importance of strengthening Taiwan's land and naval defenses. And in a major military breakthrough, China's J-10 fighters successfully shot down Indian Rafale jets using domestically developed weapons. This milestone demonstrates China's rapid advancements in stealth fighters and hypersonic systems, shifting regional power dynamics and arms markets. It's a clear sign that China's military capabilities are growing stronger, and the world is watching closely. Please continue to watch for more detailed insights and updates. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation reports on the high-stakes appeal decision expected this morning in Ben Roberts-Smith's defamation case. The veteran's legal team contends that Justice Anthony Bisanco's initial ruling was flawed, citing legal errors, incomplete fact-finding, and questionable witness credibility. Roberts-Smith, who sued over allegations of war crimes, domestic violence, and bullying, faces a potential multi-million-dollar loss after a lengthy trial that cost over $25 million and spanned more than 100 days. The case took a dramatic turn when Roberts-Smith's lawyers attempted to introduce a new ground for appeal, claiming that journalist Nick McKenzie made damaging admissions during a secret conversation. The media giant Nine dismissed these claims as baseless, emphasizing their confidence in their reporting and the integrity of their journalists. The South China Morning Post details the evolving threat landscape surrounding Taiwan, with experts suggesting Beijing is more inclined toward a blockade or economic warfare rather than an outright invasion. Witnesses at a U.S. congressional hearing highlighted how China might leverage cyber attacks and economic pressure targeting Taiwan's financial, energy, and telecommunications sectors to force capitulation without military conflict. While some officials see increased PLA activity crossing the Taiwan Strait's median line as a sign of rising aggression, others believe a full-scale invasion remains less imminent. Instead, the U.S. is advised to bolster its military and naval capabilities, particularly land-based forces and submarines, to deter potential Chinese strategies aimed at subjugating Taiwan through non-military means. The South China Morning Post also explores China's military advancements following Pakistan's successful use of Chinese J-10 fighter jets to down Indian Rafale jets, marking a significant milestone for Chinese defense. This incident underscores China's rapid progress in developing sophisticated weapons amid a period of peace, inspired by lessons from the Gulf War and ongoing innovation. As Chinese arms exports expand, especially to Pakistan, Beijing's military confidence grows, potentially deterring provocations and increasing its strategic influence in regional conflicts. Experts suggest that China should also consider expanding its nuclear arsenal, not as a threat to first use, but as a strategic hedge to prevent escalation and bolster its deterrence, especially in the context of the Taiwan Strait and broader international tensions. According to Yahoo US, a selection of 11 pairs of shorts ranging from $15 are highlighted as the ultimate summer wardrobe essentials, promising to liberate your legs with style and comfort. These fan favorites include trusted brands like Levi's, Banana Republic Factory, and Old Navy, designed to inspire confidence and ease during the warmer months. The article emphasizes the appeal of these shorts as versatile, affordable options that will make you eager to show off your legs without hesitation, turning everyday outings into fashionable statements. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation reports on a significant controversy involving the Israeli military's claims about Hamas tunnels beneath a Gaza hospital. Initially, the IDF released a video suggesting the tunnels were located under the European hospital in Khan Yunis, claiming they were part of Hamas's military infrastructure and that a key commander was killed in the attack. However, satellite imagery analysis revealed that the structures shown were actually a school nearby, casting doubt on the IDF's assertions. The hospital, which provides critical cancer and cardiac care, was heavily damaged by missile strikes, forcing its closure and endangering the lives of vulnerable patients. The incident underscores the ongoing tensions and the difficulty of verifying military claims in a conflict zone, raising concerns about the targeting of civilian infrastructure under the guise of military necessity. BBC covers Princess Anne's visit to London, commemorating the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Atlantic. During her visit, she engaged with WWI veterans, Royal Navy personnel, and the local community groups, reflecting on the historic significance of Derry's wartime naval base, which played a crucial role in protecting Atlantic convoys. Her itinerary included meeting with schoolchildren at the Cathedral Youth Club, viewing the International Sailor statue, and attending a commemorative reception at Abington Square. The Princess Royal's final stop was at Alton Eglvin Hospital's cutting-edge Clinical Translational Research and Innovation Center, highlighting her support for medical advancements. Her presence at these events not only honored the sacrifices made during the war, but also celebrated ongoing efforts in community service and the scientific progress. Deutsche Welle vividly captures the complex and emotionally charged week marking 60 years of German-Israeli diplomatic relations. The commemoration, held amidst the backdrop of ongoing conflict, was marked by poignant moments such as President Herzog's visit to Berlin and Steinmeier's trip to Jerusalem. The visits were not only symbolic, but also underscored the enduring friendship and reconciliation between the two nations, rooted in a shared history of suffering and forgiveness. Steinmeier described the relationship as a miracle of reconciliation, emphasizing the societal efforts that transformed political gestures into grassroots connections, from youth exchanges to cultural collaborations. The emotional highlight was the visit to Be'eri kibbutz, ravaged by Hamas attacks, where the memory of lives lost and the ongoing trauma of war were palpable. The scene was somber yet resilient, with the planting of an olive tree symbolizing hope and continuity amid the ruins, as the leaders acknowledged the suffering of innocent civilians and the urgent need for humanitarian aid amidst the chaos of Gaza. Nikkei Asia reports on the shifting landscape of global shipbuilding, revealing how Japan is falling behind South Korea, despite a surge in worldwide orders. Japanese shipyards, renowned for their technological prowess, are hampered by limited capacity and past industry contractions, preventing them from capitalizing on the booming market. Meanwhile, China and South Korea dominate the sector, with China capturing 69% of new global orders last year, leveraging government support to enhance competitiveness. South Korea is actively expanding its presence in the U.S. market, collaborating with American defense contractors, and investing heavily in new infrastructure such as floating docks and offshore cranes to boost capacity. Japan, meanwhile, is cautiously exploring partnerships with the U.S. and investing in next-generation eco-friendly ships, but capacity constraints and high labor costs pose significant hurdles. The fierce competition and strategic alliances highlight the evolving global dynamics, where South Korea's aggressive expansion and China's market dominance threaten Japan's traditional strength in shipbuilding, prompting Japanese firms to innovate and seek new markets. While Chaser offers a deeply personal and powerful narrative of the Palestinian Nakba as experienced through the eyes of a refugee who lived through the ongoing trauma of displacement and war, the author recounts childhood memories of life in Khan Yunis, a refugee camp that symbolizes the collective memory of Palestinian exile since 1948. The narrative vividly portrays the painful cycle of loss, displacement, and longing for return, emphasizing that the Nakba is not a historical event, but a living reality that continues into 2025. The author's personal story intertwines with broader historical and political reflections, illustrating how the trauma is passed down through generations and remains central to Palestinian identity. The recent escalation of violence in Gaza has reignited the horrors of 1948, with families forced to flee once again under threat of weapons and airstrikes. The narrative underscores the resilience of Palestinians who, despite suffering and displacement, cling to the hope of return and the memory of their homeland, emphasizing that the Nakba persists as an ongoing tragedy, a cycle of suffering that refuses to be broken. The South China Morning Post vividly captures the spectacle of American political and societal dysfunction through the lens of J.D. Vance's recent racist remarks defending the Trump administration's futile trade war against China. Vance, a vice president of the United States, crudely dismissed the Chinese farmers as peasants, revealing a deep-seated contempt rooted in frustration over America's inability to outmaneuver China economically. His disparaging comments reflect not only ignorance, but also hypocrisy, considering his own rise from humble beginnings chronicled in his autobiography, Hillbilly Elegy. The article underscores the absurdity of the trade war, which has only painted the U.S. as the ultimate loser, heavily dependent on Chinese imports and holding a staggering $784 billion in U.S. Treasury securities. China's rapid development and sophistication starkly contrast with the image Vance projects, as the article highlights how Beijing dismisses such xenophobia with a pointed reminder of its 5,000-year history. The piece satirically underscores how American politicians like Vance embody the worst of white supremacy and racial prejudice, driven by a sense of helplessness in the face of China's rise, while the world watches a nation that, despite its power, is embroiled in self-destructive conflicts and internal decay. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopsis thoughtfully curated by the 6DO team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6DO team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6DO Brief via email.